half court frequency by game log, so you can see what teams like in the last 5 games are starting to run more half court and half court efficiency. So, dude, these spreadsheets.
What you doing with the player? You about to do player?
And player game log. So when you click on a team, it'll be like, oh, this defense is struggles against spot up or struggles against pick and roll offenses, and then it shows player efficiency by game log out of pick and roll off. Crazy shit.
Yeah, send it to me. I'll send you $100.
I got that's what I'm doing the next couple days. It's gonna be savage. When the season's going, I don't get much free time to work on this stuff. So like a week like this where I don't have a ton of content to put out, I use it to my advantage. What's up, everybody, by the way? Hope you all had a nice weekend. I had an excellent Sunday, and damn it, it feels good. Last few weeks hasn't been going right. It hasn't been a complete disaster, but every time I have a good day, I felt like I followed it up with 2 losing days. And I believe the phrase I used in the video last night was 1 step forwards, 2 step backwards. And it feels like that. It's been like that for like 3-4 weeks now. It's just been a rough. November wasn't kind to me. I had a few nice days in there, but for the most part, November just wasn't a good month for me. So yesterday was cool. It was a good day. Got the Chargers +4 to polish it off. Won my 2 biggest bets. Then hit the Sunday Night Football game. I did live bet the Bears +6.5 after that game started. Which we were talking to the Discord, and we were like, "Do you guys want to live bet the Bears?" And we're like, "Yeah, if the 49ers score in this drive, let's do it." 49ers drove down the field 7-0. We live bet the Bears. It was 21-0 like 10 minutes later. It was like, well, we may have missed with that one, but overall it was a great Sunday. Yeah, this is going to be the shortest live stream ever. We're doing the Knicks Raptors, and then we're doing Monday Night Football. That's it. It's a light week for NBA. For those of you that don't follow it, it's the NBA Cup. So there's 1 game tonight. There's 2 games tomorrow. There's no games on Wednesday, and then there's 1 game on Thursday, right? 1 game?
I think it's 2 games on Wednesday too, right?
Oh, it's 2 games on Wednesday? Okay.
2 on Tuesday, 2 on Wednesday. I think they broke it up by conference.
Yeah, so me and Chris were just talking. I'm utilizing this time to get my NBA spreadsheets ready. So I'll be finishing those up tonight or tomorrow. Very excited about that. Let's go. Let's talk Knicks, Raptors, and so Chris, what is the status of the NBA Cup here? Is this the semifinals?
No. So this is well, yeah, I guess so then, because the Cup hasn't started yet. This is just like for whatever reason, the NBA just scheduled this game today, Cal. But this isn't like the Cup. The Cup actually starts tomorrow, and Wednesday will be Cup game. So this is non-Cup game, but it's important to talk about because the Knicks are in Cup play. They play the Atlanta Hawks on Wednesday, I think it is. So you got the Knicks with a potential look-ahead spot here against Toronto. Knicks also coming off a pretty poor loss against the Detroit Pistons the other day. Lost that game outright at MSG at that. They rested Karl Anthony Towns, and Cade Cunningham put a monster triple-double against them the other day. So Cup play is taken into consideration for the Knicks specifically. Okay?
Well, I was looking at the matchup, and I mean, I know everyone's going to be taking the Knicks here -6.5, but I don't see any reason to try and take Toronto. Maybe you like R.J. Barrett in some kind of revenge game or something. The Raptors have been scrappy, but the Knicks have now, in the last 5 games, they're top 5 offensively, and they're like 6th or 7th defensively. So the Knicks are playing great basketball on both sides of the floor. Maybe I can see if Karl Anthony Towns is listed as questionable, so maybe if Cat doesn't play, Toronto at home, I could see why you would want to take the Raptors plus the points, but I'm not trying to step in front of the Knicks. You have any reason to take the Raptors here?
Yeah, I do. Didn't play it though, but I'll say this, guy. We talked about this a couple weeks ago too. The Knicks came home after they beat Charlotte, but they didn't cover in that game 99-98. I think that was the first game that LaMelo didn't play. And I know you'll get this in your spreadsheets as well, but the Knicks have been a little different on the road than they've been at home. And I've talked about wanting to back them at home specifically, not as much on the road. A big part is their defense. They're giving up 106 points at home. That's good for 7. On the road, 116 points. That's good for 18. And that's important in my opinion because Toronto, they have the 14th best offense as far as scoring, 116 points per game at home. But on the road, their offense struggles. They bottom 10 at just 109 points per game. So You talk about all the trades as well. We got Toronto offense a little bit better at home, Knicks defense a little bit worse on the road. Then you talk about all, potentially Karl-Anthony Towns not playing. Campaign is also listed as questionable. We know the Knicks don't have the biggest, the most depth, I guess, on the bench is what I'm trying to say. And you also just start looking at the trends. The Knicks haven't been profitable on the road laying points, Cal. 5-7 against the number. They're +1 in point differential. Back-to-back non-covers in their last 2 against Charlotte and Dallas on the road. 3 of their last 4 they actually haven't covered. And then you got a Toronto team, like you mentioned, super scrappy, getting healthier. Scotty Barnes got 3 or 4 games back underneath his belt. Grady Dick came back in that last game, shot the leather off the ball against the Dallas Mavericks. In Toronto, they've actually won they won half of their home games. So they're 6-6 straight up. And they've covered 9 of the 12, Cal. Like, this team has the strongest cover rate at the crib outside of Orlando and Cleveland so far this season. So I think I haven't bet it because I was trying to look through. I couldn't even find if Karl-Anthony Towns and Campaign went through shoot around today. But I think with them having Atlanta on deck, I know Thibodeau runs his players into the ground, and if Karl-Anthony Towns and Campaign can play, they will go out, so you could get a better number. But if Cat isn't playing, Kyle, I will probably won't be a big bet, but I'll put a bet on Toronto to keep this game, keep it pretty close. I know I'm gonna kick it back to you, Kyle, but I know that from a matchup perspective, the Knicks shoot a ton of threes. They're 5th in corner 3 frequency, but middle of the pack, overall 3-point frequency. And Toronto can struggle. I know Dallas hit 17 threes the other day. I think Luka and Kyrie both hit 6. But I feel like, one of the areas, especially if Karl-Anthony Towns doesn't play, like we talk about with Toronto all the time, is their ability to offensive rebound the basketball. And Jericho Sims played, I think, 6 minutes in that last game the other day against Detroit with Karl-Anthony Towns not playing. He had 0.0 rebounds and was a -9. so you're gonna need Precious Achiuwa to play big, because Toronto does have, even outside of Jakob Poeltl, they got some other guys that can rebound the basketball. RJ Barrett's a pretty good rebounder. Scotty Barnes rebounds and assists, keep cashing because he's a pretty good rebounder as well. Grady Dick being back to stretch the floor. So I kind of lean towards Toronto to be able to keep it within the margin, Kyle. Toronto's been playing against some really good teams too. Last thing I'll mention, they had OKC. OKC smoked them. That was the game that Jakob Poeltl didn't play. Then they had Dallas coming to town. They got off to a really big deficit in that game. I think they were down by double digits, but they fought all the way back and ended up covering. They were getting, I think, 8 in that game. They went down by 15, I think, came all the way back and covered that game. And with the Knicks having the cup game against Atlanta coming up, I know that they're coming off a bad win, but I think 6.5 is too many points. You're essentially needing Toronto the Knicks to win by double digits to feel comfortable in this spot. So it'd be Toronto plus the points if I had to play, especially if Cat does not play.
Yeah, I mean, a couple things do make sense for a Raptors bet. Number one, in the last 10 games, the Knicks are 29th in strength of schedule. The Raptors are 10th. In the last 5 games, it's 29th and 5th. So as far as the recent schedule goes, the Knicks have played a much easier schedule, which usually would be indicative towards maybe some value on the Raptors side. So I get that. I like how the Knicks have been good at limiting opportunities in transition, though. We know the Raptors like to get out, run the fast break. They do it a lot. They're not very efficient at doing it. They've been missing a lot of pieces, so who knows how seriously we should take that data with no Scotty Barnes for a lot of the season. But the Knicks have been pretty good about keeping their opponents from getting out in transition. They're actually 7th in the NBA in points allowed via the fast break. The Knicks are not protecting the basket at the elite level I would like to see, because we know the Raptors like to attack the rim. I mean, I guess I do see some path to a Raptors bet. I don't even think I'm going to bet this game, to be honest.
I don't know if I'm going to bet it either, Kyle, but I do think Toronto plus the points would probably be the side that I would look towards if I had to play it.
All right. Cool. All right, Chris. See you tomorrow.
Yes, sir. Cup games tomorrow. Best of luck, Kyle, tonight in the NFL. Did you bet NFL? You bet
yeah,
under?
I have a small bet on the under.
Okay.
But I mean, it's not the greatest. This is not a great night for gambling.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I'll see you tomorrow, Cal. Best of luck tonight.
All right. Later. All right. So it's just me here for the NFL game, and you guys most likely watched the video I uploaded. So I figured what we should do is I'll go through my notes real quick for those of you that didn't watch the video I uploaded. But I think what we could do, because it's just me, I gave Proppy for the day off. We should do some polls, maybe build like a same game parlay. We'll vote on some touchdown scores or some shit. I don't know. Sounds fun to me. Just so we have something to root for tonight. So you guys probably know I do have a few bets on I do have a small bet on the under in this game. I'm not going to go through everything I said in that video again, but basically I think the Cowboys defense is, I don't want to say being slept on, but the pass rush has been live, and people still hold the Cowboys defense in a light that probably isn't accurate right now. The Cowboys pass rush, since Micah Parsons has returned in Week 10, the Cowboys pass rush is first in time to pressure, meaning the Cowboys pass rush is getting to the quarterback faster than any other pass rush in the NFL right now. First, they're third in pressure rate. So since Week 10, since Micah Parsons is back, remember that other dude, Overshawn. I don't know if you've watched any Cowboys games recently. The kid Overshawn's a monster. So you got Parsons on one side, Overshawn on the other. That's some serious shit. The Cowboys pass rush is not to be played around with. And if you heard me make this comparison already last night, but to me it seems a lot like those back-to-back games we saw Cincinnati play earlier in the year. First of all, the Bengals are missing both their starting offensive tackles. Trent Brown has been out, so that's not a new one. But on the other side, Orlando Brown Jr., he returned from injury. He's out again. So the Bengals have to go back to playing without both their starting tackles. And during that span, there were 3-game stretch where the Bengals played missing both of their offensive tackles. Joe Burrow was pressured on 42% of his dropbacks during that stretch. So that offensive line, when they're missing both their tackles, they were not doing a good job in pass protection. So on the road in Dallas, I don't like it at all. The way to give this Cowboys defense problems is run the ball on them. That's how teams are able to negate this pass rush, and how they're slowly able to move the ball on the Cowboys is running the football. Cincinnati doesn't have an efficient rushing attack. It's not consistent. So, yeah, I'm sure they'll give Chase Brown the ball. I'm sure he's able to run the ball a little bit, but the Bengals have, as bad as the Cowboys defense is defending the run, Cincinnati's equally as bad trying to run the ball. So you got Joe Burrow in here. We know the Bengals are an offense that is relying on the passing attack. You got Joe Burrow coming into a rough spot for opposing quarterback to be coming into against the hottest pass rush in the NFL, missing both your offensive tackles. I don't like it at all. And it reminds me of, it was week 6 and 7. We saw the Bengals play back-to-back games against the Giants and Browns. The Giants was actually on Sunday Night Football. The Browns I wouldn't call a bad defense, but the Giants are definitely a bad defense. And they held, since Joe Burrow couldn't do anything in that game. If you remember, the score was 10-7. They ran a meaningless touchdown in at the end to make it 17-7. I loved it because Bengals minus 3.5 was my top bet that night. But the Bengals offense couldn't do anything. And the Giants defense and the Cowboys defense are actually similar. Not a very good defense, vulnerable against the run, but they can pressure the passer. So it's a very similar spot. And another thing about the Cowboys defense here, is there any update on Diggs? Let me check. 1 second. I want to make sure I'm not missing anything. Let me check Twitter. Sorry about this. Trevon Diggs. Anyone in the Diggs still listed as questionable as of 4 minutes ago. All right, so still no update on Diggs. If Diggs plays, check this out. So if Diggs plays in this game for Dallas, this will be the first game the entire season that the Cowboys have had a fully healthy secondary. The whole year. Remember, Deron Bland was injured for, I want to say, the first 8 or 9 or 10 games. The game he came back, that's when Diggs went out. So literally, the Cowboys got Bland back and lost Diggs. So this will be the first game that the Cowboys have a healthy secondary. Now, they still have injuries to the depth, so technically it's not a fully healthy secondary. But as far in terms of the starting 4 or 5, if Diggs plays, this will be the first time we have the Cowboys with a healthy secondary out there with that pass rush. Remember, the Cowboys were one of the best pass defenses in the NFL last year. So now fully healthy for the first time. Well, they're still missing Lawrence, but basically the healthiest they've been all year. Is it crazy to think that the Cowboys are going to be a tough defense to throw on down the stretch? They've actually been playing decent defense against the pass in their last 4 weeks. I put the graphic up in the video. It's like 6.2 yards per pass attempt allowed in their last 4 games or something. Like, they're not really getting thrown on like that. They've been getting run on. So I don't hate the matchup for the Cowboys defense. But I don't particularly like the matchup for the Cowboys offensively either. So I'll shut the hell up and put a pick up. This is what I have. Very small bet. 0.75 units. If this wasn't a Monday Night Football game, probably would be a pass for me. And the line is actually, the market's actually moved against me because you can get 50 now. So I bet for 49.5 last night. Didn't even get the best of the number. But I do think it stays under. Think the Cowboys can cover as well. That's how I feel about the game. All right. Let's see. How am I going to do this with the comments? So first, let's end the poll. Surprisingly split here. 41% Cincinnati, 38% Dallas, 13% over. So the poll leaning Bengals and over, but not overwhelmingly. We're pretty split. Start shouting out touchdown scores for you guys. Let's do a touchdown scorer poll. Shout them out. First 4 names I see, I'm putting in there. What do we got? What do we got? You guys are like 12 seconds delayed. Do you think Bengals running on them? Yeah, I mean, the Cowboys' run defense isn't good, so I'm sure Cincinnati can run the ball a little bit. There's Jamar Chase. CeeDee Lamb. T. Higgins. Oh, shit, they're all coming in now. Hold on. Jamar Chase, CeeDee Lamb, T. Higgins, and Rico Dowdle. That's the first names I saw. All right, so I'm putting this poll up. What should we do? Should we do like 2 touchdowns? We'll do 2 polls. Let's do that. So we'll do this one. Ooh. Chase Brown is a lock. Yeah, I mean, I would imagine the Bengals make it a point. I mean, everything I just said, it's not like the coaches don't know this. It's not. They're well aware that the Cowboys pass rush is red hot, and they're well aware that they're missing their offensive tackle. So it's not like they're just going to come in and be like, guess Joe Burrow's screwed. They're obviously going to come in with a game plan to negate that, which I would imagine would result in running the ball. I would imagine would result in a lot of quick hits underneath throws, which Joe Burrow is more than capable of doing. If you have one of those passing depth charts, see which Bengals receivers get them. Why don't I just read it off to you, actually, rather than tell you to do it? 1 second. See which Cincinnati Bengals receivers do the most damage via the short pass, because that's what teams do in these situations. That's why you see a lot of quick releases against teams like the Steelers and Chiefs, because teams come in literally game planning for the pass rush. So receivers on the Bengals that do damage via the short pass. T. Higgins, 264 receiving yards, 119 passer rating, throwing the short pass to T. Higgins. Surprising. I wouldn't have guessed that. Gesicki. So it looks like, according to this, T. Higgins and Gesicki, Jamar Chase is intermediate throws and deep throws as well. We got a dead tie in the poll, so someone break this tie, man. Jamar Chase or T. Higgins? Yeah, see, David Chi-Town Hernandez in the chat. Higgins, short pass specialist. Yeah, I wouldn't have guessed that, but that's what my data shows as well. I'm ending this poll in 5 seconds, so someone's got to break this tie. We got 159 votes in, and it's dead even here. 3, 2, 1. Jamar Chase. All right, so let's build something fun together here. 1 second. Community top bet was Clemson. Did this hit? All right, so we'll go community SGP. Jamar Chase, anytime touchdown. They voted for the Bengals, so we'll throw Bengals money line in there. They also voted for the over, so we'll throw over 50 in there. And what should we do? Let's make a fourth leg. 1 second. Let me just fix the colors. I don't like this. We should throw a fourth leg in there. Maybe I'll put the passing yards in there. So let's do, how about we could do Joe Burrow over, Joe Burrow under, Cooper Rush over, Cooper Rush under. S-Dot says Burrow over passing yards. So we'll throw the passing yards in there. Let me just look up the markets. 1 second. I'm not tailing this, by the way, because I like the under. All right, passing props. So Cooper Rush is at 237.5. Cooper Rush under 237.5. And then Joe Burrow is at 274.5. All right. Well, this will be the fourth leg of this community same game parlay. Cast your votes. The first vote came in Cooper Rush over. You'll love to see it. You'll love to see it. And you got to keep in mind, Cooper Rush owns Cincinnati, man. He's never lost to the Bengals. He has never once lost to the Cincinnati Bengals. He's never lost to Joe Burrow. I'm saying this jokingly. He played them once in 2022 when Dak Prescott was hurt. And they did win, though. The Bengals were laying 7 points in that game. So the Bengals were actually more favored in that game than they are right here. And the Cowboys won outright. Final score was 2017. Do you handicap college basketball games that are not top 25 matchups? Personally, I don't start doing college basketball till January, but I'll show you what Toast has up. I'll check Toast ticket. You can always see what Toast and Andy are on by clicking on the open bets on the website. You click open bets, and then the button at the top says view open bets. So that's how you see that. But I'll see what Toast has real quick. Toast for Monday has Cooper Rush over passing. The only bet Toast has up right now is Cooper Rush over passing yards. Andy has no bets. Scoop has... Oh, these are all soccer bets from Scoop. And then I see his... Oh, I'm sorry. Is today the 9th? Scoop has Minnesota plus 9.5. Let's see who they play. So Scoop has a college basketball bet open. Oh, they play Indiana. That starts at 6:30. So Scoop has Minnesota plus 9.5 if you're looking to tail Scoop. Cooper Rush over 237.1. That makes it interesting. All right, now I got to look up the odds. Now that you guys went the other way and threw a Cooper Rush leg in there, tell me this doesn't make this a little more intriguing. All right, let me look up the odds of this. I'm sure someone's probably about to shout it out. Come on. All right, here we go. We got Bengals money line over 49.5. I'm on FanDuel. It's 49.5. Touchdown score. We have Jamar Chase, and then we have player passing yards. Cooper Rush over plus 446. Wait, he's saying 1035. I'm seeing plus 446. Yeah. Tinker is closer to what I got. Plus 446. So that's the parlay that you guys just built. Jamar Chase touchdown. Bengals money line over 50. Cooper Rush over 237.5 passing yards. All right. Thanks, everyone, for watching. This week is going to be a little light. Tomorrow there's just 2 NBA games. Obviously, the college football regular season is over. But NBA uploads are back. So if you're new to the channel, the way I do the football games where I go through the slate and handicap each game, I do that for NBA also. I just don't have time until now. So starting tonight, there'll be the NBA overnight uploads for those of you that like to bet the NBA. Yeah. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Same time. Yeah, that's it. Oh, Wags is in here. Charleston Southern, South Carolina State under 145. Such a Wags bet. All right.